you mentioned winning culture, and one coach who's had lots of experience winning, but at a college level, is Urban Meyer, and he's making his NFL debut in Jacksonville. Owner Shad Khan, has been in interviews and conversations with him for a while, and they're just recently making that official. Obviously, he's been at Ohio State since 2012 with an 83-9 record in 7 years. He actually originally became a household name in Florida before that, leading the Gators to a 65-15 record and obviously two national titles. So he's almost a hometown guy going back to Florida. So that's pretty exciting. But Sam, I'll go back to you. Is it kind of questionable that he hasn't coached in the NFL? Is that going to be too much of a jump? Or do we think that his success in college is going to be enough for him to be successful at the next level?
Yeah, I mean, that's a super hard question to answer because when you look at college coaches making that jump to the professional level, it's always a little risky, and you're always going to get that argument of, well, is he ready and capable of coaching at the professional level after, being in college for so long? But I mean, like you were listing off some of his accomplishments, I don't think those can go unnoticed no matter where he's coaching. I mean, he has had unbelievable success. He was 22-2 at Utah before winning national championships twice with Florida and then with Ohio State. That's a lot, and that's a really good resume. If you're going to hire a college coach, if you're the Jaguars, I think this is your guy. I mean, like you said, he spent plenty of time in Florida. He likes being there. There are reports that he was honestly sick of the college game and wanted to make this jump to the professionals. And obviously that's true because he's here with the Jaguars. So he wants to be there. The Jaguars really want him there. And you can say what you want about college, but if you're going to hire a college coach, I mean, there's certainly other pro options out there. So you can't say this was the only decision for the Jaguars. But if you're going to take a little bit of risk and hire a college coach and have to hire a guy who's had no professional experience, I think this is your guy. And they seem to have their heart set on Urban Meyer. So obviously, I can't predict the future. I'm not so sure how he's going to be with this team. But the fact that you're going to be starting with the number one pick and probably Trevor Lawrence, to build your franchise around. He's a franchise quarterback. The highest number of cap space. We talked about cap space with the Jets, and with the Jaguars, they have the highest number of any NFL team. So that's something to build around too. There's certainly, I think those two things were very appealing for Urban Meyer. And I mean, I hope they get this right. I hope they get this right, but I can't predict the future. So we'll see.
Initially, when I see this flash across my phone screen on Twitter, I was skeptical. I said, it's always tough for some of these coaches and these guys who have sort of tried this transition, and it's worked for some, it hasn't. And Urban Meyer's a guy who's been in college for so long. The one thing I forgot is that Urban Meyer is a great coach. And that, to me, translates no matter where you're at. And, of course, it's going to be an adjustment. And, of course, he's going to need to figure out, to me, his health situation. That's what sort of strikes me, because he is someone who reportedly had a lot of issue with losing. And not that I'm hoping that my head coach comes in and really loves to lose, but the point is that one game was really putting him in a spot where he just was not in a good state of mind. And I think that if he is inconsistent in that way, that will be problematic for his players. At the same time, the way he sort of explained it was, well, one loss sort of ended our season when he was in college, whereas now you can lose 4, 5, 6, and you still have an opportunity to go and win the Super Bowl if you have a successful season and make the playoffs. So that, to me, is the biggest thing. Is he going to be healthy? Is he up for the job? He mentioned that in 2014, he had a surgery, and that sort of helped things for him and sort of calmed things down. So I'm interested. I'm fascinated to see how that whole thing shakes out, because I think Urban Meyer's a great coach. He has mentioned it time and time again in the initial comments that he's made in Jacksonville about hiring a great staff. I think that's going to be crucial for him. What does his offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator look like to just help him make that transition? And there's reports that it's going to be Scott Linehan as his offensive coordinator, or at least interviewing for the job. That one, certainly a guy who's experienced, didn't work out at LSU and didn't work out terribly well in Dallas, and their offense had sort of seemed to go to the next level when Kellen Moore took over. So we'll see how that goes. But I just really think that at the end of the day, you can coach. And you see at some points, college coaches come in and they're not able to read the situation. They're not able to read the room. Like, that's what it struck me when Chip Kelly went to Philadelphia, right? He was a guy who thought he was going to come in and run the show and just do all this stuff and have all the control and tell all the players what to do, this, that, and whatever. Urban Meyer's not that guy. Urban Meyer is one of the smartest coaches that I've ever seen. I mean, the way the guy is able to understand, relate to players, and do things. I just think that if there was ever any coach who was going to make a transition from college to the pros and be successful, it's Urban Meyer. He's coached I think it's 57 players who are in the NFL right now. So he's coached a full NFL roster at one point or another at Ohio State, Florida, and other stops. So I'm confident in Urban Meyer, and I think that he's going to do a good job. And again, as we were just talking about with the Jets, he's got the quarterback situation figured out. If Trevor Lawrence is a home run, Urban Meyer will be too.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, he's been able to win no matter what program he's in. He's in an exclusive group of coaches who have won a national championship at multiple schools. The other member of that group is Nick Saban, who flopped when he had his opportunity in the NFL with the Dolphins. But hopefully this situation goes better for Urban Meyer. Like you said, he's had experience working with NFL caliber talent. Former #1 overall pick Alex Smith, Ezekiel Elliott played under him, Nick and Joey Bosa both at Ohio State. So, he's had that experience working and developing strong players.